here, week 10, and we've got Katie, and help me out, Katie. How do you pronounce your last name?
Granados.
That's how I was going to say it. Believe it or not, that's how I was going to say it. So, Katie, and for all those people watching, welcome. Um, we got one little snag that happened earlier today, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I had your name wrong because the subject we can actually talk about it now. The from field in the email said Katie Braun, and we weren't friends yet. And so we've been going back and forth. And I was like, oh, okay, so Katie Braun's going to be on tonight. And it's funny because we even talked earlier today, and it still went by. But you corrected me, and I got it corrected.
Well, yeah, I was signing my emails just as Katie, and my personal Gmail account says Katie Braun, which is my maiden name. So it was a good reminder to go in and update everything in your Google account, your profile information. Good reminder for me today.
Yeah, and before we got on, guys, Katie and I were talking about that, and wasn't even thinking about talking about that tonight. And it's so important. It's a little thing that you can forget. That if you have gotten married and you're using an old, email address that has your maiden name, or even if you change the name of your business, that's very important to update that from. I've got a couple friends that changed the name of their companies, and after they changed the name, I was still getting emails with the old business name on it, so that could be kind of confusing, even for clients. So, quick tip that we both learned today is make sure you go in and update your from name on your emails, right?
Totally.
Yeah. So let's hear a little bit about you. You uh, commented you've been watching the series, and we were talking about. I teased a little bit about Google Business, Google Business Profiles, or some people call it Google My Business when we were on with DJ Rachel, and he said, pick me," and so I picked you. So here you are on the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for picking me. Thank you and Dave for everything you're doing with Photo Booth Magazine. I first joined Photo Booth Network on Facebook when I was thinking about getting a photo booth, and from there I just learned so much, and that's where I found you guys too. That's where I found out about the Photo Booth Expo. But a little bit about me. I used to live in Chicago and DJ'd there on the side for over 10 years under my dad, who is a wedding DJ. That's how I got into it. I moved to Colorado and I got married, and now I have a son who is a toddler, so that keeps me very busy. But I want to take this kind of pause in my civil engineering career that I have currently left behind to try something that I'm really passionate about. So I decided I wanted to start up my DJ business out here, and that a photo booth would be a great add-on. And once I started looking into it, there's just a lot of decisions to make, which we were talking about earlier. But yeah, I've done a couple events with my photo booth now just to kind of work out the kinks, and I'm just getting started.
Well, you're on the right track, so we're going to do our best to help you out. So you did have your own company in Chicago, is that correct?
My dad did, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so you're not
Yeah, done.
necessarily, so you're not starting, you're not transferring a business from one state to another. You've said, okay, I've worked for my dad. Now I'm going to go to this state and I'm going to start my own, and fresh and brand new.
Exactly.
Cool. So it's there's a lot to tackle tonight, and so what Katie and I did, we actually got on earlier today, and what we wanted to do was show all of you who do not have a Google business profile how to start one up. But before we get to that, there's a lot of different places that you can advertise online. We've talked about this on end on the show with Dave. And then Dave, by the way, hi Dave, if you're watching, he was unavailable to come on the show tonight. So I said, all right, I can't make it. Can you cover the show? I said, sure. So hi Dave. But there's a lot of different places that people swear by in terms of bringing in leads. By but above and beyond, always, the personal referrals are fantastic to get. Last week we talked with Mike Walter. He says he also echoed the same thing. But when you are not doing a whole lot of events, it's hard to get those personal referrals. So you have to start drumming up some business some way, shape, or form. And some people swear by Instagram, people swear by Facebook, some people swear by TikTok. But I will tell you time and time again that when someone is finally looking for someone to hire, there's more of a chance that they're going to go to Google or even your website to check you out or find the company that they're looking for. Things like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are really discovery. They're not actively looking for a photo booth company. Maybe some are, but the chances are they're not going there typing, going in TikTok, photo booth service. Where are you in? Parker, Denver, right? Or where I'm at,
Parker, around Denver, yeah.
yeah, or right where I'm around Bucks County, Pennsylvania. They're not going into Instagram, usually typing and actively searching for a service. Most times not. A few people will be, but those channels, what I call channels, are the Instagrams, the TikToks, the Facebooks. They're more for discovery, and so I always talk about marketing as a well balanced marketing portfolio. That just like with investing in stocks or anything like that, you don't put all your money in one basket. You really spread out and hedge your bets across the different channels. So you want to do a little bit on all of them. But what we're going to talk about tonight is when people are finally ready to make a decision, there's a higher percentage of the actual ready to take action that happens on Google. So you need to be on Google. It's just that's where the majority of the traffic on the world is at. You also should have a website. We'll talk about that later. And there was a great article by one of our former guests, Jordan St. Jacques. He wrote an article on DJ Life. I think it's coming out or coming soon that specifically talks about why you need a website. But before we get to the website, it's Google Business Profile is something that drives so much traffic because in our industry, they're looking for someone in most cases who's local or nearby. They're looking for information on terms of have people hired this company before, and they're looking at reviews. And then there's the opportunity to call straight from the Google search engine search result page, or even go through to the website. So tonight is about that. It's about we want to cover Google Business Profile because it's so important for marketing. So what Katie and I did earlier today, we got on a Zoom call and we chatted for a little bit and we actually walked through setting Katie up with her very first and hopefully only, well, maybe not even only, if you open up multi locations, right? Then you'll set up multiple ones, but your very own Google Business Profile. So we're going to sit back and we're going to show the little cut of that video of actually walking through how I helped Katie get her Google Business Profile set up today. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play this. And Katie, let's just sit back and let the folks watch. Google Business Profile, get listed on Google. All
Okay.
right. And you're going to want to sign into the upper right hand side now. Make sure that you're signed in properly. All right. So go ahead and there it is. Rocky Mountain Phone Machine. Hit continue.
Okay.
All right. So you are a service business. Yep. Correct.
Okay.
Business category, put in photo booth. You do primarily photo booth business?
This is primary DJ, and the photo booth is kind of an add-on for me.
Okay. All right. So then type in disc jockey.
Okay.
Disc. Let's see if they have that. Disc. Go back and type in DJ. Again, they were always updating the categories too. DJ service. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Hit next. Where do you serve your customers? So I like to always start off with your city. And the reason why I say start off with where you're physically located is because there is a proximity that is a ranking factor, right? So you're located in where?
Parker, Colorado. It's a southeast suburb of Denver.
Yeah. And now you can pick some more. So start branching out to the other areas that are high population, right? And even pick some of the smaller towns in Denver. You can suburbs. Sure. Pick some suburbs. And you can also pick counties. So
spelling that right? Okay. Oh, you can. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Jefferson County, Colorado.
Yeah, Denver County. What are the counties in the mountains? What are the counties in the mountains? I'm putting in
Counties?
Mm-hmm.
Park County.
Park County. Okay.
One.
No, just Few of the
And you can always add more later on.
Okay.
So
Okay. I've got 6 of them to start.
Yeah, that's really good. So hit next.
Okay.
No counties are listed, right?
Yeah. All right. So you're going to want to put a phone number in there. So what number do you want these people to call?
So I'm trying to figure out the best way to have a business line. I thought I was going to use a personal phone number, but I don't know if that's the best idea. I have to get a new number that's not a Chicago area code because I found out that that's going to be a no-no on my like Google site.
There are a lot of options.
I have a Google Voice number, but I
That's
might
what I
want to
use.
have a professional or pay for that service instead of the free service.
I use the free Google Voice. I always have.
Really? For your business?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it just that number within Google Voice just routes to my cell phone.
Okay, I'll put in the Google Voice number then.
Yeah.
I used it a long time ago and I kind of thought it was glitchy, but maybe it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, that's not perfect, but it works. I haven't had any problems with it. And what's great is like for some reason you want to not receive those in your cell phone because you've got something to do, you can route that to your husband's phone. Or if you eventually get an administrative assistant, you can route that to their phone. It's really, and to your contacts too. So what I like is if my friend calls the number, it recognizes his number and I have a special greeting just for him. It's like, hey, Steve, dude, I'm not available. You're going to have to call me back later.
Oh, that's through Google Voice?
Yeah, there's so many features through Google Voice and transcripts. So it transcribes the voicemail so I can read it in the app. It's really cool.
Okay, so the free version's pretty good then?
That's what I use.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right, put your Facebook link in there.
Should I put my Facebook or my website?
Well, if you put your website and there's no website up, it's going to send it to a website that doesn't have anything. And believe it or not, your website actually can affect your Google listing as well. So we don't, until you have that up and running completely.
Oh, even though it just redirects to my Facebook page right now?
You know what? Yeah, you could do that. Well, no, actually, no, don't do that because we don't want redirects.
Okay.
That can show a flag. So just go straight to the Facebook page for now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a gray area that I don't want to mess with.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and get alerts and tips. It's always good to get the information from Google.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to put your business on the map. And now we're going to start entering in some more.
Sorry, we're having issues at the moment. Try again.
Weird. There you go.
Yay.
Now we're going to have to verify. So this is just, they're going to have local signals are going to be based off of this, and you can hide your address if you want. So, but go ahead and put your real, you want to put your real address. Don't put a post office box or anything like that because Google does not like post office boxes. They don't like virtual offices.
Okay.
You can get taken down and flagged, and it's hard to get them recovered if you do that. So no cheating. All right, hit next. Yep. And go ahead. That's the number. So you got your phone in front of you. You got your Google Voice app ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, hit text.
Okay.
When you get that code, enter that in. Your code was accepted. Hit next. Add services. So, now you can go in and hit show more. Right. And anything in there that, yeah, photo booth rentals. There you go. Anything else you want to add on, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then hit next. Business hours. You can select whatever you want. I turn myself off at some time during the daytime that I don't want calls. I still get calls, but some people do 24/7, but I don't. I do like 9 a.m. to I think like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. like that. I try
so when you put in 9 to 6, what people can't?
So under Sunday, so go where it opens at. Yeah, so you pick a time that you'd like that Google will see that you're open.
Okay. Oh, not 6 a.m.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, and again, you can always change these.
Okay. But like when you put in your hours,
That
what does
lets
that do for you? People just know when to call you, or
So yeah, that lets people know whether they should or shouldn't call you, but we all know these days people don't pay attention to that.
right?
But it's an unknown ranking. So if someone searches at like 7 p.m., but you were closed at 6, that may have a ranking factor to it. That may. I haven't confirmed that, and I still have to talk to a couple of the experts that I work with about what data they're seeing on that. So I just try to be as accurate as possible.
Okay.
You know, what's interesting is like a lot of people will start doing their browsing after work. You know, I'll notice that I'll get leads coming in at like 9, 10 o'clock at night because they're done with their day. They've had their dinner. They've, you know, done whatever chores or responsibilities they have, and now they have time to browse and search for the service. So I do get leads later at night. So it's okay to leave it 24 hours.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, hit next. Add messaging. I recommend not to take messaging for now. Reason being, because lately there is, it's a 50-50 split in with regards to the opinion on this, but we're getting spam, and I got a bunch of spam emails or leads that came in. I have had a couple legitimate ones that have come in, but there's also response time to these messages that we believe has a little bit of a ranking factor. And if you're not responding as fast, that could hurt you. So that's why I see a strike against me in terms of responding. I see a strike because I'll get these messages at 3 a.m. or 1 a.m., which are people from like India or Pakistan or wherever spamming me. So there's a ranking factor potential hazard, and then there's also the hazard of getting spam. So I figure if people really want to contact me and they're really serious about, you know, reaching out to me, they're gonna call my number. They're gonna, you know, contact me through my website. It's kind of a gatekeeping thing.
Yeah.
The type of customer that you really want to have.
Gotcha.
So hit next. Like I said, you can always turn that on later, but right now I recommend turn on call history. That will, yeah, turn that on. That's good.
Okay.
Add a business description. It could be up to 750 characters, and you know,
I'm just gonna copy this for now.
yeah, just get something in place for now. I wouldn't use emojis.
Okay. On Facebook either?
Well, Facebook's fine, but really, I mean, it's hard. It's hard for Google to read emojis, I think. I think they're working on that, and they actually might start having the ability to disseminate that, but I'd like to keep it to people who are being able to read. I'm getting spam emails or spam calls.
Yeah,
Insane.
no, emojis aren't that important to me, so that's fine.
So I would say let's get this party started. Professional DJ and MC services, all digital photo booth station, located in whatever county, but we also serve these counties. And I would, yeah, go ahead and do that part. I want to change one part about that after you're done with that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out where I'm.
Leave it to, but go instead of all digital photo booth station. Photo booth station isn't a common term used, so I would use all digital photo booth rental, because photo booth rental is a high volume search keyword. Not that this is going to play in part of it, but might have a little bit of help with people understanding that, and it could have a ranking factor at some point. Yeah, but photo booth rental is a good term to use, probably the top term that you're going to use, since that's what you do. So that's good. You can always change that later on.
Do you spell photo booth with a space like that?
It is. Yeah, that's the proper ways to spell it out.
Okay.
Yep. And Google can tell. So if you did spell it with one word, there is, you know, if there's a similarity between with a space, without a space, Google can tell the difference between the both of them, but the proper way is with a space.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
All right, hit next. Add some photos. So this is where you get to have fun. Again, try not to use stock photography. Stock photography can get you flagged. So that's a no-no. So you want to use your real images. And I highly recommend you do, every time you have an event, just make sure you're taking a couple pictures of what's going on. Take a picture of people using it. Take a picture of the venue. Take your setup in the venue. Grab some images if the customer has okayed that. And the next day, go in and add some photos to your business.
Okay. Do you think I should put a photo of my logo for now?
You can, absolutely.
Okay. These are just. Oh,
That's a good start.
okay.
But never use stock photography.
Okay.
That can get you flagged. And anybody, if I show this video later, anybody who says no, I spoke to a Google product expert yesterday that says you can get flagged and suspended for using stock photography.
Good to know.
So straight from the horse's mouth.
Okay. I'll just put another picture from my photo booth for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to get some pictures of my DJ setup, and then like I said, when I do an event and stuff.
Yep. Just grab that iPhone or Android and just snap away, and you got yourself great promo material. Nothing says or is an advocate for what you do than your actual pictures that you took at your events.
And this is pictures from my wedding. So I don't know if I'll have to get rid of those later because that's not me DJing.
But those are your pictures though, right?
It's true.
There you go. That's yours. All right. Hit next.
Okay.
That's a good start. All right. Skip the advertise with Google. I highly recommend never, ever, ever utilizing Google Ads through Google Business Profiles. Again, for anybody who's watching this, I have dissected these campaigns that they set up. They are set up by people who don't know what they're doing. They're freshly hired by Google. Google, sorry about saying that, but it's true and you know it. But yeah, never sign up through the Google Ads through Google Business Profiles because they're going to waste money. All right, so let's take a look here. Get a custom website. No, skip this. You already have a website. Your editor will visit once you're verified. Hit continue. Okay. So your business is on Google. So this is going to take a little bit. So this is where we may not see instant gratification. It might take up to 24 hours or maybe even a couple of days. Okay. So now you're done and you're good to go. Let's just for the sake of having fun, click on Manage Now.
Okay.
Go back one screen. Hit the back button, the Manage Now button right in that box there under your business on Google. Go down the X.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Let's just take a look and show everybody what that looks like. So this is where you're going to be editing your Google business profile moving forward. Will be actually in Google Maps or on the Google search page while you're logged in with your login. And so now you can add updates, as you can see there to the right-hand side. Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of things you can do. So back to what I was kind of talking about earlier in the session here is reviews are very important. So if you have any DJ clients in the past, if you have any photo booth clients, like your last one you got paid for, get reviews. The best way to get the reviews are to talk to these people via text or via email and get a feel whether they're going to leave you a good review or not. If you feel like they're going to leave you a good review, then ask for that review. You can actually send them a link straight to the Google Business Profile that they can click on, log in, and with their Google account and leave you a review. So there's some people out there that think I need to have 5,000 reviews. I need to, again, spoke with the Google product expert yesterday. There is a ranking factor when your first 5, your first 10, 15, 20, 25, etc. But after a certain point, the amount of reviews doesn't matter anymore in terms of ranking. It's the star rating. So you want to try and maintain 4.8, 4.9, 5.0. Those are the ones that really stand out and have a good chance of ranking. With regards to the number of reviews, when you're getting up to the hundreds, the 250s, that's really a trust and worthiness selling factor to the person who's looking on the page and says, well, this person has 25 reviews, but is ranking above the person that has 400 reviews. They may click the guy with 400 because they're more experienced and there's more trust with a company that has done more events. So, but don't let that scare you. You know, just keep steady pace. You want to get a couple a month. You know, if you get too many at one time, that actually shows a flag to Google.
Oh,
So work on the reviews,
okay.
working on adding more photos, occasionally post on the Google Business Profile. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to post something. So after an event, you can do, let's see, add an update. That's where it is. You would click on add update. You can add a photo, talk about the venue that you were just at and how beautiful it was. And you can even link back to your website. So if you had so that's one thing that you can do. Now that doesn't have SEO juice, meaning that won't help you rank, but it can help with your click-through rate. So again, it gives customers more information that might make them go to your website or your Facebook page with the link that you use on Google Business Profiles to help you convert into more leads.
Okay, so everything that shows up on there is stuff that you add through the Google business. Like, in other words, pictures aren't coming from other sources that are getting pushed to there.
Yeah. Now customers can leave photos on there, but you as a business owner can flag photos that get put on there by customers.
Okay.
So, and have them removed. But yeah, all the pictures that are on there, those are from you. You control this. And that was the session. It was long, right? Well, it seems like it's long because we're watching this live, and actually one person commented, says, "How long is this entire process?" Well, if you think about it, you know, if you're sitting there by yourself doing this, I mean, it wasn't that long, was it? Because we bantered back and forth too. Oh, I think it got you muted here. Hold on a second here. Oh, where'd your audio go, Katie?
I muted myself. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I thought I did it.
That was only like 10 minutes to set up, really.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Exactly. And I was surprised at how quickly, and I didn't think it was actually going to give you a preview on the page. I haven't been able to find you yet. So I think because you own the account, you're able to see it. But what happens is any brand new account, Google is going to wait before it goes live because they're trying to prevent spam or fake businesses from being created. They actually you're going through a review process right now. And it may take a little bit of time before that actually shows up in searches. So don't be discouraged by that. I do want to show everybody your website here, which is actually your Facebook page is your website, right? And so we talked about that. And how long ago did you create this page?
Gosh, I guess during when I had that first birthday party, which there's photos from it. So if I went to my Facebook page, I could tell you in August, I think.
I'm on your Facebook page, so let's take a look here. This one here?
No, further down. I think it was like in August.
Yeah, so not bad. One way to promote this is I join local groups. Do you join any local like community groups or anything like that?
I haven't joined any local ones.
Yeah, so if you get a chance to, like around my area, there's I live in Warrenton, Pennsylvania. There's like the Warrenton community group with a lot of locals. They'll talk about stuff in the local area. There's in Philadelphia, there's a DJ group. I join that because we all kind of know each other and we share ideas. And sometimes we trade, events. If I can't cover something, I'll send it over to somebody else, and we'll contact in that group. So Facebooks are really good. Groups are really good, but keep working on this, right? So I know you've got a website that you're trying to figure out where to build it and how to build it. But keep building this out regardless, because right now this is once your Google Business Profile goes live, this is your representation. All right. So get as many photos on there, and even DJ stuff, put whatever you can on there, put pictures of your setup, and just do it naturally. So we talked about reviews, and I can't stress enough how important those are. Again, they show your potential clients that you've worked before, that you did a good job. And once you get to a certain amount, you're getting some rankings because of that. And once you get to a certain amount, there's an amount of trust. So we talked about how to get them, right? And one of the ways to get them is to literally ask for them via email, via text, via phone call. You can see them in person, but don't be afraid to ask. before you do ask, we talked about kind of qualifying it first. So after you do an event, you want to chit chat with them and kind of gauge: do you really think they had a good enough time? And it's okay to ask, hey, if I asked you for your review, would you give me 5 stars? If they say
Oh,
yes, boom, right there. It's like you get them right there on the spot. And so you say, here's my link. Please give me a review. There's actually software out there that can help you get reviews in terms of requesting and posting. I just started trying something out here recently this week because I was tired of copying, pasting a link and trying to email and making it work. So this is a little program that I got that actually does two things, what we've been talking about, and that is requesting reviews. So I can actually click on here and request reviews either via email or I can request the review via text. What I do find, and actually I read on another forum or another Facebook group today, was someone was talking about how, I guess not upset, but disappointed they were that they're asking for reviews from couples, and they're not getting responses and they're getting ghosted. And some people were chiming in, well, you were doing it by email, you should be doing it by text. And I can echo that same sentiment that you're going to get more of a response off of a text request than an email because email gets lost and not everybody searches email. Where text, you're getting immediate, ding on your phone, so you kind of want to take action. It's easier to take action right there. I was talking with somebody else that I work with who actually does this on behalf of some of the clients where I work, and that there's a higher percentage of success rate in getting results through requesting the reviews via text message versus email. So it doesn't hurt to do both. So you can hit them up both by email and text, but um, from what I'm finding out, text is better. So I tested this out. You can see I've actually tested myself a few times. I tested this was a real one. I sent it over to this person. This wasn't a text. This was an email that was successful. This person didn't even open the email yet, because actually I can find out who's opened the emails and who hasn't. I don't have data yet on the SMS, but it did work when I tested that out. Another cool thing that we talked about in the thing was posting. So this is really cool because I've got this extra widget on here that allows me to post simultaneously. It's kind of like Hootsuite, if you guys have ever heard of Hootsuite, but this is so much cheaper, this platform that I got. I can compose a post and post simultaneously to Facebook and Google Business Profile at the same time. And I can also schedule it. So if I go in here and hit my posts, I can go schedule post, do my information here, add a photo, and then either do it immediately or I can schedule it out for a date. So I can actually sit there and on a Sunday when I got some time, which is very rare that I have any time, but sit there and get all my posts ready if I've got them and schedule them out, and it'll automatically post for me on whatever cadence that I want. I want, one on Wednesday, 2 weeks from now, I want this one to go out. There's a holiday coming up that I want to kind of co-brand with. You got Thanksgiving. The night before Thanksgiving, I want a happy Thanksgiving thing to come out. You can schedule it all ahead of time. And so you can sit back and relax and the system's doing it for you. So you guys might want to look into something like this at some point. Um,
yeah. What is that widget called?
um, it's it's reviews and social media platform. I just signed up for it. It's through analytics. I'll send you the link, and when I get the link to it, I'll also put it because the next day I go and edit this video. Well, at least I go to YouTube and I put all the information in, timestamps and links to what we talked about. And then I also go on photoboothmagazine.com and I put this up on the blog and I put all the information in there. So let me just go back. It's a social SMBS um, is what we're using. So I'll send you a link, and again, I'll put this for everybody watching, a link to this company. Well, that's
So let's say I did an event and I took 5 pictures or videos that I'd want to post.
yeah.
Would you recommend either using a widget like that or just on your own, making those posts throughout the week rather than one post with all of your images?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You could test it out. I mean, there's not a lot of activity that actually happens on these posts. It's more so people just glancing through. I would actually, there's two things that I do. So for my Google posts, I usually choose one image. I mean, me personally, I don't scroll through these galleries. I've done it a couple times where I posted multiple images at once, but only one of them really shows. And sometimes if you do a montage or like a collage, the pictures are so
Mhm.
small you can't really tell what's going on. So I prefer to do one really powerful picture. That's just my method. Um, and then in terms of frequency, there's it's good to be frequent, and then there's annoying frequent. You ever get those where you just see this thing over and over again? You don't want people unfollowing you. So
Yeah, I guess and that all has to do with the algorithm of the platform, which it's so interesting what you see and what you don't on Facebook, Instagram, etc.
yeah, yeah, and we're gonna have a few people on the show later that are a little bit more experts on the Instagrams and the Facebooks than I am. Google is my sweet spot. That's like my wheelhouse. Um, but definitely, there's stuff out there that you can read. You can go to YouTube and get people's opinions. We can go on Facebook. There's tons of opinions, blogs out there, and I'm learning just as much as you are too. Like I'm not the expert at everything, which is I hope that makes me authentic here. But you and I will learn together on.
That's why I was throwing all these questions at you.
Yeah, no, and I'll try to answer at least my opinion. And my opinion isn't always right, but it's something, I guess, right? um, so we also talked about the website. And one of the things that we talked about was, platforms that you can use to build it. And one of the things that I think is a misconception is that your website does not have to be on WordPress to rank on Google. It does not have to be on Google. Like my site is built, and I showed you this earlier. My site's built off a template site, and I'm like number one, number two, number three on almost every of the major search keywords that I need to rank for. I've got another friend who's on Squarespace. He ranks number one, number two, number three. WordPress, Google doesn't give you preference because you're on a specific platform. They don't care what platform. They care about, is your site mobile friendly? Is it fast? Does it have the right content on it? Does it have your name and address, phone number prominent on there? Does it have the right local signals on there, telling them that you are local? So when someone does a local search, that you show up. Is there enough quality backlinks coming back to your site? Not junk links. So don't just go out there and buy a bunch of junk links. But there's a lot of different factors that go into ranking on Google, and it's not because you're on WordPress. It's not because you're on Squarespace, but that you have the right vitals on your website on page as well as off page. So just one of the things that we talked about. So what have you thought about what you want to do so far since we talked in terms of building a website? Are you still investigating that?
Well, like we discussed, I was trying to figure out what would be the best platform, like a Wix or Squarespace, or you
Mhm.
introduced me to Duda,
Yeah.
or if I should go on Upwork or something and hire a web developer. And I thought maybe that was the way to go, but after discussing with you, I think I'd rather do something like a Duda or a
Mhm.
Squarespace where you've got everything on the back end, and if something breaks, then you don't need to hire a web developer again.
Yeah.
Um,
And especially in your
I think that would
situation.
make more sense.
Yeah. I mean, in your situation, you're just starting out, and just like anything else, you can always upgrade later on. So you want to get something, just start off basic, get it up, make it look pretty. And the cool thing about these platforms like Squarespace, like Wix, like Weebly, like Duda Mobile, is that you can develop this on like developer mode, right? It's not even live yet. So you can sit there, keep your Facebook page as your web page for now until you feel fully comfortable that you got this other thing built up, which is rather easy to do. Um, and then you can switch it over. And then later on, if you become like the superstar and you're taking over the whole state of Colorado and you want to get a much more grandiose website, then that's maybe where you hire a bigger developer to come in. The cool thing about these templates and template sites is they're very easy to edit. It's a lot of just
Mhm.
drag and drop, not a lot of coding. Um, again, I'm not talking bad about WordPress, but I'm saying that You don't absolutely have to do WordPress. Now, one of the downfalls of WordPress is plugins. So there's a lot of plugins that help things work on the website, whether it be forms or galleries or things like that. That you have to make sure the plugins you're using are updated. Not only that, but you're updating your WordPress platform every like week or 2 weeks or something like that. And sometimes if these plugins, which I talked about earlier, some of them are free, and there's no skin in the game for these people who develop these plugins to update it as fast as WordPress is updated, and suddenly that breaks. And plugins sometimes work together, and if one breaks, the other's going to break, and your site's down. So that's a risk that you have with WordPress. And if you've got money to pay a developer, the revenue coming in to be able to invest in a good website through a developer through WordPress, then yes. But by all means, you don't have to have WordPress. I know I talk a lot.
Yeah, I actually started one of the free trial websites with Squarespace, and for me, it was really easy to put something together that looked nice. I was still mulling it over, so I didn't go live with it. But I think another service you can hire out there are people that just will develop a website for you on a Wix or Squarespace. So
Yeah, there
that's another
are.
if you don't want to do any work
There
to
are.
build. Yeah,
I spoke with Jordan. He was on the show, and he does that. So maybe you hit him up, right? I don't have the time. I could do it, but I don't have the time to do it. So I just tell other
sure.
people, hey, go to this person here. I trust them. They're good. But he talked to me at the Photos Expo, or was it? No, it was the DJ Expo. That he does offer that as a service. He's really good at what he
Cool.
does, so you might want to hit him up.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, before we go, Katie, because we've got a lot of we've covered on the show. What any other questions that you think you want to ask me while you got me on the air that might be able to help out other folks?
Um, Random question. As a person starting out, do you think a trunk or treat would be a good place to bring your photo booth and advertise?
Absolutely. So with the trunk or treat, you're getting a lot of decision makers are moms, right? Those are the ones that are on the PTOs, the PTAs, whatever you want to call them, the parent teacher associations. And those are the ones that are going to be throwing birthday parties. Those are the ones that are going to be throwing at some point probably a 50th birthday party. Those are the ones that are going to have a niece or nephew that has a wedding. Those are the ones that are going to have a sweet 16 coming up, or who might be on the prom committee, or who might be the activities director at a corporation or a company that's going to hire you for a company party. So yes, that is a great place. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can have fun too while you're doing it.
Oh, yeah, right. Bring my son and dress him up. And you're absolutely right. Moms, we get involved.
They're the ones that make the
So,
decisions. You're talking to the ultimate decision makers, moms. Cool. All right. Well, Katie, what we're going to do, and for folks out there, I'm going to stick with Katie for a while here. So I'm going to mentor her. We're going to continue to optimize her Google Business Profile listing. I'm going to give her advice on that. I'm going to give her advice on her website. And we're going to continue as time goes on, show you guys the results. And we're hoping this is a good case study for what we talked about. And as we're going along this path, you guys can grab some things, hopefully for yourself, that can help you guys with your online marketing and your website. So, Katie, thank you so much for joining us.
thank you so much, Art. I really appreciate everything.
You're welcome. And guys, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and finish on this video. We'll see you next week. Dave, I hope you join us.